Hey VC, what's up? It's me, yours truly. I am back to post a quick video here. Gonna do a quick response to Steve over at All the World's a Stage. He put up, I believe what he said was his first thread that he's ever put out in the VC. Steve's a really awesome guy. If for some reason you don't know him, that's exactly why I left that link down there for you. Go check him out. Very knowledgeable, very cool guy. You will learn a ton from subscribing to his channel. So yeah, he put out his first thread here, and I definitely wanted to kind of jump on board. And it's titled, "I've never owned a record by these 5 artists." So just like it says, name 5 artists that you've never owned any albums by. And he kind of made it clear that don't try to go off and pick some obscure thing that no one would even know who you're talking about in the first place, but kind of big artists, major artists that used to or maybe still are, could fill up stadiums and all that kind of stuff. So like big artists kind of thing. So what I actually did was went in and Googled top artists of the 60s, top artists of the 70s, top artists of the 80s, on, and just looked at the list to see the ones that, and so these are the ones that kind of at least initially jumped out to me. And it's a very cool approach with the whole kind of negative approach, and not negative as in bad, but just instead of the what I love, what I don't love, because I watched JC's response over the flip side, and I watched Steve's response here, and I would have never guessed in a million years that like 90% of the bands they chose and artists would have been artists that they didn't like or didn't own something by. And like literally my jaw was on the floor like, really? So it was really cool just getting to know them that much better that quick by approaching it from the negative. So awesome idea, Steve. So let me kind of jump right into it. When I looked at that list, number one I felt I had to mention was Garth Brooks. Mainly because I guess technically he's the number 1 selling artist of all time. Kind of cheats to do it, but with the way that he packages things and sells them at ridiculously low prices, so he can say technically they bought 6 of my albums when you only paid for 1 kind of thing. But anyway, I don't own any Garth Brooks, and I'm definitely kind of a modern country, even bro country fan. Like I like some of that stuff, or a good amount of that stuff. So being a country fan, like I said, to have no Garth Brooks, I think that's definitely worth mentioning for this one. Number 2, I wrote down a whole list of names, so I'll just pick the one that I'm going to pick, but I'll just kind of mention the other ones that didn't make the cut on this same kind of genre, if you will. But Beyonce is my number 2. I mean, obviously she's a huge name. Really, I kind of like her as an individual. Like acting things she's done, I think are fantastic. A lot of things I've seen her kind of do just as an individual, like I think she's kind of cool. But when it comes to her music and stuff like that, could not stand it and could care less if I ever heard anything from her again the rest of my life musically. But yeah, so Beyonce is definitely my number 2. The other ones that got eliminated on number 2, I think it's worth saying just because they kind of fall into the same realm, like Rihanna, Ariana Grande, Shakira, Katy Perry, Miley Cyrus, Aaliyah, Billie Eilish, Selena Gomez, Cardi B. All of those are right there with Beyonce on that number 2. Number 3, The Weeknd. Another artist who's been kind of big, I guess, over the past few years or whatever. I think a few years ago performed at halftime at the Super Bowl. And even watching that Super Bowl performance, like there were a couple of things that I thought were okay, but nothing where I'd want to own one of his albums or listen to it again or anything like that. Just not my cup of tea. So The Weeknd at number 3. Number 4, again, kind of one of those grouping things, and I picked the main one. But number 4, Imagine Dragons. Like that kind of stuff. Just I don't get it. Quite frankly, I don't get it. And I even took it a step further to go see them in concert one time, just because I got a ticket that was really cheap, and I was like, let me go give it a feel. Sometimes you get live and you get the back and forth vibe, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, I'm kind of I'm understanding what this is about. I didn't understand a damn thing because they were just as horrible after that concert as I thought before. So Imagine Dragons at number 4. Some other bands that kind of, again, got crossed out on that line: Arctic Monkeys, Silverchair, Husker Du, Wilco, Snow Patrol, Modest Mouse, and the Flaming Lips. Although I did own an album by the Flaming Lips, that Dark Side of the Moon RSD, which I sold. But I guess technically I owned an album by the Flaming Lips, but they fall right in there with it too. But yeah, Imagine Dragons for number 4. And number 5, last but not least, this is a band that I've just never understood: Avenged Sevenfold. I just do not get them at all. And I guess they really stood out to me because in the current metal world, I mean, they kind of have a name, you know. I think the last time they were here in town, like Megadeth opened for them, kind of thing. So you're not exactly a slouch if Megadeth is opening for you, but at the same time, it's like I don't get that style of metal. It's like trying to mix too many genres in there, and it's just like, if we just make some heavier riffs, then that actually makes us more metal. And I don't get that type of thing. Seven Dust might kind of fall in there too, but I think I actually own one Seven Dust album that I just didn't get rid of, and a bunch of stuff that I got. So Avenged Sevenfold for number 5. So anyway, there you go, VC. As always, thanks for watching. Definitely go check out Steve's video. Go check out JC's as well. Those are the only 2 I've seen pop up so far. But yeah, let me know what you think, and we will talk to you soon. All right, take care, guys.